So this episode has been hard for a whole different set of reasons. It wasn't too technically challenging, it was more just learning to be happy with myself. Honestly, I was real nervous about this. While I've grown pretty comfortable talking to a camera for video, looking at myself in high detailed stills is still not something I'm that comfortable with. But instead, I decided to embrace it. I thought I'd learn as much as I possibly could about portrait photography with an in-camera, another level of challenge set to it. So what I mean by that is I'm going to do zero editing, zero Photoshop, and just get it right and in colour in the camera. The reason I want to do colour is because I felt it would have been too easy for me to do like a high contrast, moody black and white and hide who I am. Embracing that colour, that skin tone, that portrait colour look is something I've avoided for a long time, and I wanted to face it for this video. So first of all, I went through all the different white balance settings. In an automatic white balance, my skin looked a little bit pale and dead, and I took a photo in every different white balance just to see what they would look like. And actually the best one was daylight white balance. This I know is actually a daylight coloured light, so zero surprise there, but the automatic compared to the daylight definitely brought out a lot better skin tones. I did the same comparison with all the different film simulations. I found most of them, to be honest, to be quite stylised. I did avoid the black and white ones because, like I said, I didn't want a black and white photo for this. I wanted to learn about colour. The classic chrome wasn't too bad. It did tone down the wooden tones in the background a little bit, so I didn't mind that, but the standard is probably the main one I'd stick with most of the time. When it came to the highlights and shadows, I actually found toning these down a little bit looked better for portraiture. So I went -2 on the highlights and -1 on the shadows. This just brought out a little bit more detail and removed some of those high contrast flaws that you can see as skin, especially in portrait. With noise reduction and sharpening in camera, I left these alone. You can maybe bump up your noise reduction a little bit, as it also like tones the detail in your skin a little bit and makes it look a little bit more plasticky. But as you well, not plastically, smoother, but as you pump it up too much, it starts to look plasticky, so be careful not to push that too far. You could go a little bit further if you're doing a female, but as I've got some rougher edges, that little bit of detail I didn't mind too much, so I left those as is. In the end, I don't think I liked my shot being too close, so I actually stepped the camera back a little bit and tried to go for a bit more of a full body shot, a fuller body shot. Like a full head of bear. So when it came to the final shot, I definitely felt a bit more comfortable with the camera being a bit further away, that more full body shot. And like I said earlier on, I only got this one light, so I managed to make it a bit more dynamic by blocking out even more of the windows in my house. I put a big giant bit of cardboard in front of this just to create a bit of shadow. I'll show you, 2 secs. This giant bit of cardboard I put up in front of part of this just to create a little bit of shadow, so the light was only hitting in a certain spot. If you have a smaller light, that probably wouldn't be as much of an issue, but as I have only one giant light, removing some light actually made it feel more dynamic and more to the style that I liked. As always though, I was trying not to lose detail. I didn't want anything completely black and I didn't want anything completely white, and just trying to get an emotion, an expression, something that I felt wasn't forced but felt comfortable to me in a photo. It was very tricky for a selfie, especially when I couldn't hide it, like I said, in too much of a dynamic black and white. So for something a little bit different, instead of asking you to like, share and subscribe for the end of this video, I'd like you to grab your phone and send a message to someone, even if they're sitting right next to you, and give them a compliment on their physical appearance in a way you think they would appreciate it. And I think that'd be a nice way to fuel someone else's ego rather than fuel mine for a change. And I think, especially after having a day of beating myself up physically, some other people would really appreciate that. However, if you would like to tune in tomorrow, you're more than welcome to watch me try and take some photos of pets.